Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. By the time you see this, it'll probably be uploaded around Friday or such. Maybe Saturday. I still have a couple stuff left. Like Jack's Bat, The Horror Show, Shocker, film I want to talk about here, Leviathan. And then I do have some nice stuff planned for November, so look forward to that. But, want to do something, previous review was of a film that I didn't care for, that I was really disappointed in. Not really disappointed. I mean, it's a film no one really knows about called The Sleeping Car, but just thought it was a piece of shit, so why not something random and fun? So in this video, it is my personal 10 or so favorite Stephen King films, and also mention which 10 or so Stephen King films that I feel are the worst ones. You can agree, you can disagree, you can have your own list, whatever, but this is my list. And I'll probably briefly go through all the Stephen King films and briefly mention them, but my 10 favorite and least favorite, let's go to my favorite first. Really in no order. Well, I'll say right now, these that I mentioned will be the 4 top ones for me of my favorite Stephen King films. And okay, my 2 favorite Stephen King films, without a doubt, they are these 2. Maxim Overdrive, which I did a review for this film, is still up on the channel. I love this film to death. This is either, 2 films share the top spot for me, and this is one of them as a favorite. Stephen King directed it. I know he hates it. He was drugged up, I guess, making the film, but you know what? This is a fun movie. It's a definition of fun. I mean, come on. You got a semi-truck with the Green Goblin face. You got Emilio Estevez shooting killer trucks with bazookas, saying, "Adios, motherfucker." You got the complete soundtrack by AC/DC from beginning to end. Not only the songs, but the score itself. And you got the most badass semi-truck ever. You got Emilio Estevez, which I think did a good job. I don't mind the cast. I don't mind Pat Hingo. I don't mind Christopher Murney. I think Stephen King did fine. This is a very fun movie. A guy coming, "What the fuck's going on?" A fucking steamroller pretty much running over little leaguers. Insane soda machine coming up and hitting you in the face and killing you. Arcade machines that go fuck you and electrocute your ass. "Honey, this machine just called me an asshole." Watermelons coming at you. This truck stop having a goddamn arsenal of bazookas in the basement. And bazooka fun. When people get hit, they go splat. Jesus is here and he is pissed. Ay, ay, ay. You Shook Me All Night Long. Who Made Who? Hell's Bells. I love this film to death. I don't care what anyone says. If you don't like the film, that's fine. I love this film to death. I love it to death. I love it to death. I love it to death. I did a review talking about why I love it to death. I love Maxim Overdrive. One of my favorite films. Definitely one of my favorite Stephen King films. This is the one he directed, based on that story Trucks. The other favorite of mine, I'm not going to go too much because I'm going to go do an in-depth review of this for the Halloween season. Graveyard Shift. Which, again, I know there's no cover on this. In case people ask. Yes, I know that. I'm seeing it right now. But I did a review a long time ago when I had my 15 limit upload limit. But I'm going to do a more in-depth review because I love the film. So, I'm not going to say much. I'm going to save it for that. But I love this film. Grew up with this since I was a kid. It has a special place in my heart. So, these are my 2 favorites Stephen King films. Other favorites, which I know is cheating because it's Richard Bachman and doesn't have too much to do with the story. It was under his pseudonym, Richard Bachman. But technically it's still a Stephen King movie, and that is The Running Man. I love this film to death. It's still one of my favorite Schwarzenegger films. I think I did a long-ass review for this film, I believe. I'm sure I did. In fact, if you want to know, all you gotta do is go on YouTube. Okay, sometimes people ask me about movies that I have already reviewed, and it's like, again, all you have to do is type in, like here, The Running Man, Rambo Ride for Life. This is in the main YouTube engine. Yep, I did a 50-minute review. Definitely one of my favorite action films, especially for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yep, I did like a 50-minute review of the film, so I don't think I need to go any more in depth on this movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger is badass. The concept is badass. Even the tagline. Shit, it's not on the... A game nobody survives, but Schwarzenegger has yet to play. This DVD sucks because the second disc is fucking pointless. Be nice to have a documentary on the film, but still, you got 2 commentary tracks, I know. But I love this film. This film didn't do well when it came out. That fucking bullshit and sucks. Still a badass movie. You got great villain characters like Dynamo and Sub-Zero. Now Plane Zero. Fireball, Buzzsaw. That's okay, you keep it. Chainsaw right between the guy's legs. Follow me, light bulb. I live to see you eat that contract. But you live... I always miss that. I always fuck that up. But you better leave some room for my fist, because I'm going to jam into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. I love this film to death. I did a 15-minute review that's still up on my channel. Just type in The Running Man. Or type in YouTube, Running Man, Rambo Ride for Life. You will find it. Love this film to death. Want to hear more of my thoughts? Watch that review. But these are definitely my favorites of Stephen King films. So these are the top 3. Also, it's hard to say. The others are in no particular order, but love The Shining. One day I do want to review all the Stephen King films. I mean, it'd be too much for Halloween season now, but one day I will do. But I love The Shining. Really enjoy it. It's a 2-disc. I thought Jack Nicholson. This is my favorite. This is my favorite performance of his. Here's Johnny. A lot of people were annoyed by Shelley Duvall. I think she did fine. Stammen Crothers. I like Stanley Kubrick. I like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I like Dr. Strangelove. Not a big fan of Eyes Wide Shut. I know he's done other stuff, but my favorites... The Shining and Full Metal Jacket and 2001: A Space Odyssey are my top 3. In that order. The Shining is my favorite Stanley Kubrick film. It's my favorite Jack Nicholson film. I think it is extremely well filmed. The score, the mood, the atmosphere, I thought it is an epic horror film. I don't know if it's the first, but an epic horror film. I get that. It feels like that. From the elevator, blood coming out of it, to the hedge maze chase in the end. I thought Stanley Kubrick doing a horror film, he did a great job. Love The Shining very much. And this 2-disc DVD, which is a pretty good DVD actually. Love The Shining. Controversial one, but I don't give a fuck because it's my channel. The Mangler. This gets hated. It's called one of the worst Stephen King films ever. I don't give a fuck. I love the film. Why do I love the film? I think it's one of the... For Tobe Hooper films, I think it's definitely one of my favorites of his. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2, you know, stuff. I love The Mangler. The short story is a short story, and it's a fucking laundromat. That's what it was about. That's what they do. Ted Levine, lead role as a hero. I loved him. Bullshit reality. Reality, bullshit. This is bullshit. If you've seen the film, you know what I mean. I think Ted Levine, he's a very likable character. I really like his character in the film. He's a big reason why I enjoy the film. I like Robert Englund as well and his character. Just a weird character that he plays. When it's gory, it's gory. You know, this woman getting chewed up and they have to fucking take her remains away in buckets. Like literally, all that's left is in these fucking buckets that they come out. Like little touches like that, or the Picture Man character, this weird character that was kind of, but not really, a friend of Ted Levine, and like the scene where he just spits blood right on the camera. And when people talk about grit, I thought this does have a certain grit to it. Just the look of the film and the laundry machine, and then just to go batshit insane. Again, if you're going to have a silly idea like the fucking laundromat type thing, go batshit insane with it. And they do. They perform an exorcism and saying a line like, "I think we'd be fucked." It sprouts legs, chases them, cuts a guy in half in gory fashion, shoots fucking flame balls, shout fucking legs, chasing them. Go batshit insane, and it did, and I had fun with that. And I liked Ted Levine's character, and I wasn't bored, and it definitely has gory violence in it. And I enjoy The Mangler. And yeah, it's called one of the worst films of all time, one of the worst Stephen King, or the worst Stephen King. I disagree. I have a lot of fun with this movie. I enjoy The Mangler. I like it a lot. It has deleted scenes. It'd be nice to see the uncut version. I think it was somewhere online, but it'd be nice to have an actual. This is the R-rated version. I mean, it's a little, like, couple seconds, but still, being a big fan of the film would be nice. But I always remember the trailer to this as well. I always loved the trailer to this, the build up to it. I remember seeing it. I forget on what videotape I saw it, but and the trailer's on here as well. But I love the film. I don't give a fuck. Now the rest, what's that? That's about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, these are my top 5. I know people will be pissed, but these are my top 5. Other ones I enjoy. Let's see. Let's see if I have them here, because I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Okay, this is another one. Okay. And yeah. I say top 10, I don't say top 11, because I don't put one more in there. That's not horror, but I gotta put it in there. But these are those are my top 5 favorite Stephen King films. The next 5 for my top, I'm gonna say top 11, fuck it. In no discernible order, so they can mix and match. I just know those are my top 5. But the rest of it, Silver Bullet, really enjoyed Silver Bullet. One of my favorite werewolf films. My favorite werewolf film is Dog Soldiers. This is probably number 2. I like Corey Haim, and I like Gary Busey in the film. Have some effects by Carlo Rambaldi. I know at one time Don Coscarelli was part of this, but something happened, and now you had Daniel Attias. And I don't know the full story, but this has no features on it, so. And there's stuff on Wikipedia or IMDb, but I don't know how truthful or how bullshit it is, so I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, I enjoyed Corey Haim, and I thought he did a really good job. Music by Jay Chataway. I enjoy this film, Silver Bullet. And I don't go too in depth on these, otherwise it'd be like a 50-minute video, which I wouldn't be surprised it still is. Other favorites, again, in no specific order. Christine, John Carpenter film, which does have commentary John Carpenter star Keith Gordon, little featurettes on the making of the film, deleted alternate scenes. I don't like John Stockwell, but I do like Keith Gordon, who's the lead guy in the film. Alexandra Paul, Robert Prosky, Harry Dean Stanton. I thought they all did a good job on it. Again, I'm a big John Carpenter fan. I thought he did a really good job. Love seeing the sequences with the car being fucked up and then fixing itself up when it comes after the bad guys. Like the one guy who's stuck in this little alleyway and the car just coming through, not giving a shit. Or this scene here, run over the guy who's on fire. I enjoy Christine a lot. Really like that film. The miniseries, this is my favorite. I think it's the best miniseries of a Stephen King one. At least, again, miniseries-wise. Really enjoy this. I enjoy this. I never read the story, so I don't care about it. The only problem is the ending, but I don't know if that was in the story. From what I remember, hearing from people, the ending to the book was shitty as well. So I know they're talking about remaking this, but I don't know what the. But other than the ending was kind of a bit anticlimactic. It was just a fucking spider, or rather crab. I think it was like a crab, whatever the fuck it was. I haven't seen this in a while. But other than that, I think it's very well done. I think the cast is great. A lot of people complain about part two, but I did part two. I didn't care for the ending, but the rest of part two, I love the actors. You know, all these people here. Harry Anderson, Dennis Christopher, Richard Masur, Annette O'Toole, Tim Reed, John Ritter, Richard Thomas. Tim Curry was great as Pennywise. I thought the kids did well. I mean, you even have Seth Green as one of the kids. Um, and yeah, I thought the kids did a good job as well. And I thought Tom Lee Wallace did a good job directing this. And I remember this being pretty creepy when I saw it as a kid. I mean, the opening, we all float down here and killing a little kid. I like the scene where his older brother looks at the picture of his dead brother, and again, they're little kids, and the picture just being covered with blood. And seeing that for the first time on ABC back in 1990, so I was probably like 6, 7 years old seeing that, because I only had like a couple channels. One of them was ABC, and this was on there. I remember it was CB. We had CBS and ABC. I think this was on ABC, and yeah, I remember this being pretty creepy seeing it back then. And even today, I still enjoy it. I still think this is a good Stephen King movie. Really enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not going into it in depth. That would be too damn long. Cujo, really good special edition Lionsgate had for this. Audio commentary, has a 3-part documentary. What can I say about Cujo? To me, the best film dealing with a killer dog. And D. Wallace Stone, or I should say D. Wallace, at the time it was D. Wallace Stone, she did a really good job with it. You also had Ed Lauder, Christopher Stone, Daniel Hugh Kelly, Danny Pintaro, Louis Teague, who had done Alligator. I think Stephen King was a fan of Alligators. He's like, hey, yeah, Cujo. Again, I thought the scenes with the dog was very well done. Very, very well done. Cujo's a great one. Cat's Eye, one of my favorites of the anthology movies. And unfortunately, the only feature on this is a commentary with director Louis Teague. Be nice to see like a documentary on the film, because I think this is one of the best of the. Everyone always talks about Creepshow, and I like Creepshow, but to be honest, between the two, I like Cat's Eye more. And I know it's only 3 stories, but I like the 3 stories. I mean, the third one with the cat is probably my least favorite, but I don't hate it. But again, I like Creepshow, but I like this more. I love the story with James Woods, Quitters Inc., where he's trying to smoke and he's trying to quit smoking. You have this company that's giving him convincing ways on why he should quit smoking. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And I love the one with Robert Hayes, The Ledge, where he's forced into this bet to go around this ledge and all the close calls and stuff he's getting. And I love those 2 stories. The third one, Drew Barrymore, and you have this like troll-like creature, and this cat's like her protector. I liked it okay. It's my least favorite of the 3, but I liked it okay. So I like Cat's Eye. And I want to leave some room in case one day I want to do further reviews. If I ever do a Stephen King marathon, I will. I know that's 10 of them, because I always showed you the top 5. My 5 favorite, I should say. And this is Graveyard Shift, Maxim Overdrive. Those are my favorites. Then The Running Man, The Shining, Mangler. And then the other 5 are Silver Bullet, Christine, It, Cujo, and Cat's Eye. And I said 11 because I gotta mention this one. Shawshank Redemption is a great movie. It's not. These are all horror, or Running Man's action. It's not horror, but sci-fi. This is strictly a drama. If you want, this is the 2 disc. But I enjoy this film a lot. This is a film a lot of times I mention because I think it's a great drama. I think it's a great story. and it has fantastic acting. It's a great story, Shawshank Redemption. Gotta mention that. So those are my favorites. Now, there are other ones that I do like that I didn't mention. Like, I do have Creepshow, and I own Creepshow. You know, I do like The Langoliers. It has some horrible fucking special effects. Some of the worst special effects you'll see when you see The Langoliers. Just like Pac-Man. They're gonna be killed by Pac-Man. Because I'm a Pac-Man. And so you get some really bad effects. But, what I like about this film, I mean, that's at the very end. I like the stuff before it. I like the idea. I like the idea that a couple of these people are left on this airplane, and when they land, there's no one around, and so they're in this empty airport, and like, for the first part, they're on this empty airplane. Where did everyone go? What's happening? And I like the cast. I like Dean Stockwell. I like David Morse, Patricia Wettig, Mark Lindsay Chapman, Frankie Faison, Christopher Collette, Bronson Pinchot. I like the cast. I thought the cast did a good job. Directed by, isn't it directed by, yeah, Tom Holland. I liked it. I liked the story. I like the cast. I like the ideas behind it. It's just the special effects suck. But, okay, the special effects do suck ass, but I like the other stuff in the film. I'm sorry. I like the Langoliers. I don't mind the first Children of the Corn. The sequels, I haven't seen. I have them in a DVD set. I'll watch them one day when I do a marathon. Again, maybe if I ever do a Stephen King marathon, I'll do like Children of the Corn, then I'll just go through all the sequels. But that'll be one day down the road, because that'll be a lot of fucking movies. The Stand, I do like The Stand. I saw this back in the day when it first was on ABC. And I saw it from night to night when I was a kid. And I enjoyed The Stand. But again, the ending sucks ass. I don't care if it was in the book. It was still a lame ending. Because you had like 366 minutes. And the reason this is it's a 2-disc set. 366 minutes is a lot of fucking minutes. I think that's pretty much about 6 hours. Because 120 is 2 hours. 240 is 4 hours. Yeah, about 6 hours. So 6 hours, or at least 5 minutes and 40, 50 minutes of build-up. And all it is our lead terrorists walked into town. They got arrested. They stood, did nothing else, and that was all they needed to do. They walked into town, they get arrested. Ray Walston, I believe, he gets killed. The others just stand, and like that's all they needed to do. That's an easy job. You walk in, you stand there. I mean, Ray Walston got killed, but you walked in, arrest us, we're standing. I mean, did you even need to have them be there? I mean, they were useless in a way. What did they really do? Because it was Matt Frewer with his fucking bomb that did everything. So what did the other guys accomplish by standing there? Were they interference? Hey, look at us so you don't notice him. I don't know what the hell the point of it was, but that's what I mean. It's like, even if it's in the book, I'm like, sometimes that's a change that would have made sense. You know, a little bit more to the ending, but I do like the other stuff with it. I would say I would probably say I like the virus stuff better. So I would say I like the first half a bit better than the second half. Like the stuff with the virus where it opens up and you see don't fear the reaper, da-da, baby. When it's the first half and it's dealing with the virus, like in a way, this would have worked better if it strictly was a virus movie. And then when you get into the supernatural, it becomes a little bit less interesting. But I still liked it. But like the first time with just the virus, it was a bit more interesting. Well, that sounds stupid, but and there's stuff. I mean, I do have the Dead Zone on DVD. I like that film. I do have Misery. I like that film. I do have 1408. I do like that film. Um, I don't have Carrie. I know. I remember liking the film okay. It was never one of my favorites, but I don't own the film. And I say this because I know someone's going to ask, "Hey, do you have this? Do you see? Did you see that?" The Green Mile, I saw once, and I remember just feeling it was too long. The Mist, I don't have the film, but I remember seeing it once. I remember being okay because I like Thomas Jane, and I do remember the ending is a ballsy ending. But I do feel the film is a little bit overrated because a lot of people talk about that film, and that's a film that does have bad CGI. And that film didn't come out that long ago. And that was a film that came out in theaters. I'm like, this special. I remember it being an okay film, but I remember it being a little tad overrated as well. But just quickly going through a couple others. Salem's Lot, someone sent me, and I did a review for that. Wasn't the biggest fan of Salem's Lot. I should mention, someone did send me Creepshow, a DVD from overseas, and I do like Creepshow. I have Creepshow 2, and I like that one. Firestarter, I don't have, but I saw that once, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. Other than the cool fireball shots. Stand By Me, I don't have. I remember seeing once a long time ago, but I have to see it again to refresh my memory. A Return to Salem's Lot I have on DVD art thanks to my friend Mike. I remember it being okay, but not great. Pet Sematary I do have, 1 and 2. And I don't mind them. I don't mind them. Pet Sematary, I don't like the ending, but the other stuff, there's stuff I like about it. Pet Sematary 2 I remember being okay. Sometimes They Come Back, I don't think I've seen Sometimes They Come Back, the first one. So I don't own the film. Weirdly enough, I have the third film. I don't have Sometimes They Come Back. I don't have the Sometimes They Come Back Again. I got Sometimes They Come Back for More, where it's in the Alaska or the Arctic or something. But I don't have the first two. So I like to get the first two sometime. And give my thoughts on it. The Dark Half, I want to give another look. I know Scream Factory's coming out with that. The Tommyknockers I do have. Wasn't really. That was just the. Dolores Claiborne. I didn't see it, to be honest. If I'm skipping stuff, it's because, well, you'll see. Apt Pupil, wasn't too impressed. Green Mile, I already said. The Rage Cherry 2, I hated. Hearts and Lands, I didn't see. Rose Red, I think I saw once and I forgot it. I like the Dead Zone TV series. And again, I do have the Dead Zone movie, and I like that film. Didn't see the Carrie remakes. Didn't bother. Sequel Window, I remember being really. I thought the ending was lame. Because it was kind of easy to see coming for me, the ending. And when I got to the ending of Sequel Window, I'm like, oh, that's it. I was thinking, like, it was going. I'm like, to me, that was the most easy way for it to go. Like, it was I don't know, it was easy to see that, oh, that's where it's going. It was too easy to figure. It just wasn't that surprising of an ending. I know that's kind of lame. That's all it is to it. It's in his head. He's crazy. I'm like, yeah. Hell, you watch the trailer, you can figure out the fucking ending. I didn't see the 2004 Sam's Lot. I think I saw it once, and it was a long time ago. Right on the Bullet, I don't remember. Desperation, I barely remember. 1408 I do have, and I liked. There's a couple others, like Bag of Bones I didn't see. I didn't see some of the other stuff, so. like the new Tariff 2013 or the one in 2002. I didn't see them. So it probably still will be 50 minutes for fuck's sake. And I went shorter. Now get into the films I hate. The 10 Stephen King films I fucking hate. Number 1 is The Mangler 2 and The Mangler Reborn. You think The Mangler 1 is a piece of shit? You haven't seen those two yet. The Mangler 2 has nothing to do with The Mangler. Even has less to do with the story. It's just a crazy computer shit. And I remember the fucking, I remember something about the banana, like someone in the company was called Banana something, like Banana Paul or Banana Butt, something about that. I barely remember the movie. I know Lance Henriksen has a small part in it. I remember being really fucking shitty. And The Mangler Reborn, I remember being really fucking boring. Reggie Bannister was in it, and he was underused as like this nutcase who has, I guess, somehow a little piece of the Mangler in his fucking basement or something, and just this fucking crazy guy who kills some random people and feeds it to his Mangler, and that's really it. Really cheap, very slow-paced, boring piece of shit. The Mangler 2 and Mangler Reborn are pieces of shit. Of course, if I ever do Stephen King Marathon, I just have to fucking re-review them again. I don't even know if the original reviews I had are still up. I don't even remember. But those are the worst ones to me. Creepshow 3 is a piece of shit. They're all crappy as hell stories. Either the two guys who are fucking stupid. Okay, he's a teacher who's an inventor, and they look at his wife or his fiance. I guess they don't buy that this hot-looking girl could go with their teacher professor. And it's like, oh, she has an accent. She must be a robot. So we're just going to kill her and cut her into pieces, even though there's blood flying around. Like, ha, 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 ha. And then after they cut her to pieces, all this blood's over them. Then they go, oh my God, she's real. I'm like, no shit. And like the fucking guy who's like, gets haunted by a bum who choked on a fucking hot dog, and, hey, my hot dog, can you give me another hot dog? Fucking offers this guy a fucking hot dog. A ghost bum that offers a guy a fucking hot dog. Do I need to say more about Creepshow 3? Number 3, Mangler 2 and 3 I put together as one. Number 2, Creepshow 3. Number 3, Thinner. I think that was also directed by Tom Holland. I think that's the worst film he directed. I remember hearing somewhere that he might have been sick or ill or had some disease or something happened on that set. I remember hearing in the Tom Holland interview something about that. And if that's the case, that's too bad. But the story itself, I mean, you have this unlikable asshole played by Robert John Burke, who's this guy who's overweight. His woman's giving him a blowjob. He's not paying attention. He hits someone and kills them. And the father comes up and goes, thinner. And so he becomes thinner. The effects are good. Him getting thinner, not being erased. And I don't mind John Mantegna. Mantegna, probably says his last name wrong, as this sort of hip, sort of a guy who decides to help Robert John Burke out and tries to get the old man to reverse the curse and fucks with them. Really enough, he's kind of like a hitman, and he was like the most likable guy in the movie. Because you don't like anybody. I should like the guy who gives the curse, but I don't know, just the way he comes off is just not likable. I don't like Robert John Burke because he's an asshole and, you know, killed a person, and you don't really like him. And then the ending, it's like, you have to in order to get rid of this curse, you have to, he puts in like this pie, and you have to have someone eat the pie. And so he's going to give it to his woman who's cheating on him. But then that happens, But then you find out he finds out his daughter ate the pie as well, and he's depressed so because he knows she's going to die a horrible death. So he takes the pie, and he's going to eat the pie, and he's going to die, and that's how the movie ends. I'm like, great, this fucking great experience of the movie. The only thing worth the shit was the effects and Joel Mantegna. Other than that, that's it. I don't know anything else about the movie worth the shit. Number 3. Number 4, Golden Years. Don't ask me what the fuck what it was about, because I saw it once and I don't remember a damn thing. Number 5, The Night Flyer. I was really disappointed in this film. I know there's quite a few people who do like The Night Flyer, but I like Miguel Ferrer. I like the idea that he's a reporter. You have this vampire that flies at night, has his own special airplane, and you know, he's interesting, but I hated the way it ended. I hated the way it ended. I did not care for the way it ended. Whether it's in the story or not, whatever, I just, being honest, I did not care for the way it ended. I thought it was a horrible ending. Number 6 is Trucks. It's pretty much a very low-budget, cheap-jack, horseshit version of Maxim Overdrive with Timothy Busfield, the star of Strays, the Killer Cat movie, Killer Pussies. Trucks, it's as boring as the title. I mean, come on. What film are you gonna fucking watch? A film called Trucks with Timothy Busfield, boring, lazy, cheap jack movie, or a film called Maxim Overdrive with AC/DC music, Emilio Estevez going adios motherfucker and shooting a bazooka to kill a Green Goblin semi-truck. I think this is the winner. Hands down. Trucks is such a loser. Get away. Lost count. I think number 7, Dreamcatcher, which I saw in the theater. This film was the equivalent of everything and the kitchen sink and the fucking bathtub and the fucking urinal cakes. Everything up and center. Like literally. And what pissed me off is I saw this film because I liked the trailer and I liked the build-up of the film. And then that build-up goes completely out the fucking window. It's almost like you had 2 goddamn directors. You had one director who had the setup of the film. Oh, cool, it's kind of like Stand By Me. Because I do remember I saw the film once, but I do remember that build sort of, okay, these friends, and one of them's Jason Lee, and one of them's Thomas Jane. Oh, cool, I like Jason Lee. I like Thomas Jane. These friends getting together, and this kid, like, show them these powers. Which, to be honest, you know, like, what would I don't even remember what the hell Jason Lee's power was. I know he had, like, a toothpick or something. But, Thomas Jane, I don't remember what the hell he is. I just remember the scene later on where he's fucking talking with a goddamn gun to, like, a phone. Timothy Oliphant did this thing with his finger. Might as well stick it up his ass. But he's like this build up, and then they get to their cabin, and then once this stranger comes in who's farting, he shits, and shit weasels kill Jason Lee. And when they kill Jason Lee, they killed the movie. Because after that, it's like, here's Morgan Freeman and Tom Sizemore coming in, and there's these aliens, and the alien is called the Ripley. And I went, the aliens is called the Ripley. The Ripley? I don't care if that was in the book. Really? That on the nose that, hey, it's called you might as well just call it the Weaver. Sigourney style. The Ripley. And it's like fucking aliens. And then you have this British guy who has all these, he's hiding from this alien inside him who has all these, and you see inside of his mind, okay, some imagined stuff. And I'm sure a lot of this probably was in the book. But I guess, when you're reading a book that's, I don't know, probably 600 pages or something, you're taking your time to digest. Here, you're trying to digest, okay, now you just jump shit to shit weasels. Then you jump shit to this guy being possessed. And then, it's like, the beginning was about this bond of friends. And then, no, now they've split up. And here's Jason Lee and one guy. Here's Thomas Jane over here. And then, Jason Lee gets killed, and this guy gets possessed. And then Timothy Oliphant gets killed. And Like, this bond of friends, it just goes out the fucking window. The bond of friends is gone. So what the fuck did you even bring that up for? And you have, what is it, Donnie Wahlberg or someone, undid it! After that, he's going to be ready to be a fucking Power Ranger. Turns to a guy, he's a fucking alien underneath. Turns to the CGI thing. And there's like fucking smackdown at the end. And this Tom Sizemore wants to kill Morgan Freeman or vice versa. Morgan Freeman's the bad guy. Thomas Jane have psychic connection, trying to talk to his buddy using a gun as a phone. And what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck movie am I watching? And even it shouldn't even be fucking called Dreamcatcher. I mean, they barely reference Dreamcatcher, but really it's about aliens and shit. And as I try to have his cake and eat it too, and shit it out, and then eat it again. I know some people like it. That's fine. It's too much for me. It's too much. Number 8, Storm of the Century. I thought it was a boring TV movie. Give me what I want, and I'll go away. Give me what I want, I'll go away. And what he wants is he wants someone, well, you find out, he wants someone to be his successor. So that when he dies, there'll be a new one to take his place. And so the lead guy doesn't want, but the fucking asshole town people let the motherfucker take his son. If I was the father, I'd be pissed too. They let him take his son. And then later on he sees him and this son is pretty much no longer human anymore. So the asshole got away with it. I don't know, I just remember being pretty bored with the flick. I'm kind of thinking, did this really need to be like a mini-series? Same with Needful Things, but I could probably watch Needful. That's why I didn't mention Needful Things. I don't have Needful Things, but yeah, I saw that once. I like the trailer to Needful Things. I know it's written by, I think, Charlton Heston's son. I know there was a lot of stuff cut out. It was a much longer movie. Probably long enough to be a miniseries. But that's one I remember, honestly, thinking it's there okay, because I like Ed Harris, and I like Max von Sydow in it. And some other people, but that's one I would have to watch again. I remember liking Ed Harris in the movie, so that one I give above this. That's why it's not my worst. But Storm of the Century I remember being boring. Number 9, The Shining, the miniseries with Steven Weber. I know Stephen King hates The Shining with Stanley Kubrick and prefers this. But you know what? People say, well, that's more of the book. But you know what? I'm sure a lot of these you can mention, but that was in the book, this was in the book, that was in the book. Well, you know what? I saw both versions. And you know what? The one that's not like the book is the better movie. I think I'm not alone in thinking that Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is better than the TV movie of The Shining. Yes, I know there's stuff in there that's more like the book. I don't care. The hedge maze monsters are silly. Not hedge maze, but the topiary, whatever you call those monsters. Those are creatures made of the bushes. Kind of shit that Edward Scissorhands would make, and they come alive. It's a silly idea. And of course, it looked like shit. It will look like shit back in 1980. It looks like shit here. Steven Weber, I'm sorry, he does the best that he can, but he pales in comparison to Jack Nicholson. I don't mind, was it Rebecca De Mornay, I believe? I don't mind her. I remember not minding her. But it just didn't have the mood and atmosphere of Stanley Kubrick's. Didn't have those images that make you remember, like the elevator bit and like The Shining. You see why you could be creeped out here. No, and even little stuff like Jack Nicholson has an axe, while Steven Weber has a fucking like pogo stick or whatever, or polo. Or what the fuck stick he had? Croquet. I forget what it's called. I'm sure I fucked up. I know I fucked up. I think it's croquet. I forget what it is. And yeah, I just did not like the miniseries. But that's because I'm a big fan of Stanley Kubrick. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's like the book. This is lame. I prefer Stanley Kubrick's. And number 10 is Dolan's Cadillac, which is a film with Tricia Slater and Wes Bentley, I believe. And I remember, remember hearing one time Stallone was attached to the film and such, but it was a direct-to-video film. At least I think it was direct-to-video. Pretty much, Wes Bentley, his wife sees something. Tricia Slater's like this gangster guy who ultimately kills her via a car bomb. Wes Bentley wants revenge. He gets on this construction crew because he was going to shoot him, but some guy tries to shoot Christian Slater and finds out that the Cadillac is bulletproof. Hence Dolan's Cadillac. The bad guy, Dolan, Christian Slater, his Cadillac is bulletproof. So it's like, okay, how do I do this? Well, he just be a construction worker, and then he's able to get in the right time and right place to dig up part of the road so that when Christian Slater's car comes by, it falls through that piece of the road as big enough so that he's stuck and Christian Slater can't get out. And pretty much, he puts some dirt in there, covers it with dirt, so pretty much Christian Slater's going to suffocate there in a long, hard death. And something like Wes Bentley gets a phone call saying, "Oh, we got a conviction on Dolan." And he's laughing because he just did this, and you know, if he didn't do this, Christian Slater's care would have been taken care of, but Wes Bentley doesn't care. I find that an incredibly fucking boring story. Okay, his wife dies. He digs up a fucking road, and the guy, like, that's something that would work in a 20-minute Tales from the Crypt or Tales from the Dark Side or whatever episode. Not for a full-length movie. Like, really, that story works for a short episode of a series, not for a fucking movie. Or you get bored like I did. So, recap: Mangler 2 and 3, Creepshow 3, Thinner, Golden Years, The Night Flyer, Trucks, Dreamcatcher, Storm of the Century, The Shining miniseries, and Dolan's Cadillac are my 10 least favorite films that I think are pieces of shit Stephen King adaptations. Talk about my favorites, talk about non-favorites. Films that I like but weren't in my favorites. Like, I like. I'm trying to think of, I'm sure there's other Stephen King stuff I'm missing, but I did not see the TV series Under the Dome, which just reminds me of the Simpsons movie, because they were under a dome as well. But, yeah, I don't know what more I can say. That's my thoughts on Stephen King movies. I wouldn't, it's funny, I said something about 50 minutes, and I'm looking, and it's at the 48-minute mark. Go figure. But anyway, what can you do? Where's the other one? But once again, these are my 5 favorites. I'm different. And I don't be different just because. That's just how it ends up being. And I guarantee you're not going to find another person whose top 5 Stephen King films are these 5. But I'm fine with that. Just I'm going to be honest. And that's all you can be. So either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.